6 o'clock Sunday night, and all is well. Welcome, everybody, to Rick Concoff's Coffee House. We haven't been here for a while. The world is going crazy. The world is going crazy. And fortunately, we have music to soothe our souls. I'd like to share with you a little bit of what our family motto is before we do this show. It's a short line, and it's on this button. It's right here. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says, default to nice. For a better world, default to nice. We need a lot more of that in our world. And fortunately, this group does it. The Story Wrens have an incredible evening of music for you. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce the Story Wrens. Please enjoy. Good evening. Welcome to Rick Concoff's Coffee House. You may wonder why I'm in this pose. And you'll find out later. It's kind of a riddle, and we'll let you know. But I know it's a great pose. I've rarely been in this pose. And we have a great show tonight by a group called the Story Wrens. And we're going to have a really great performance. We're going to ask some questions. We're going to have some talking. They will introduce themselves. But let's start off with a song. Here we go.
Here
Wow, that made me want to dance, and
Yeah.
I almost did, except I'm attached. So tell us a little bit. Well, let's hear another song. Let's hear another song.
You got it. All right. Put the harp aside for this one.
Do you want us to tell you a little bit about like the last song, maybe? Perhaps?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the last song is the title track to our newest CD, Sailor and the Mermaid. Mark basically, it's one of our most original songs, actually.
It is, but it's from a story by Ruth Barrett and Cynthia Smith, and with their kind permission and encouragement, we have taken the story, which had been told from the young man's point of view, and put it from Mermaid's point of view. So that's how that story came.
Nice. Nice. Tell us about another one and entertain us.
Sweetheart.
Sweetheart.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Once I
we
had
sing a lot of songs from historical story songs, and this is one of them. And back in the day, sailing on the sea was not just about sailing on the sea. It was putting your old life behind you, because people did not necessarily come back. It really meant putting your old life behind you and
Starting over.
starting a new one. Yeah.
Once I had a sweetheart, and now I have none. Once I had a sweetheart, and now I have none. He's gone and left me. He's gone and left me. Gone and left me in sorrow to mourn. Last night in sweet slumber I dreamed I did see. Last night in sweet slumber I dreamed I did see. My own darling jewel sat smiling by me. My own darling jewel sat smiling by me. But when I awakened, I found it not so. But when I awakened, I found it not so. My eyes like a fountain with tears overflow. My eyes like a fountain with tears overflow. I'll venture through England, through France and through Spain. I'll venture through England, through France and through Spain. My life I'll venture on watery main. My life I'll venture on watery main. I'll set sail of silver and steer toward the sun. I'll set sail of silver and steer toward the sun. And my false love will weep. My false love will weep. My false love will weep for me after I'm gone. Once I had a sweetheart, and now I have none. Once I had a sweetheart, and now I have none.
come in again to the picture.
Come in.
I don't know if I want my voice to be latent every time.
All right.
And there's always, with this this venue, there's always a surprise.
Oh.
And the first time I did a program, right in the middle of the last song, I went to grab a plug because I needed to get some power in my computer. And I took everything with me because I had the headphones on.
no.
And so the person was still on the air. And he was like, Rick. And no one knew what happened. But he closed off the show. So there's always some kind of surprise. And that's how it is with me. So, but what I do want to say is I started this whole performance thing for the same reason as a lot of people started some new things, as a silver lining from everything we've been through for the last few years. And we had this show on every week. I've seen and discovered some amazing people, and music soothes. And all through the pandemic, and now, unfortunately, through the war, which I'm sure there will be stories about, and I hope eventually the story will be that it ends in peace. We have a saying in our family, and it's called default to nice.
No, that's
And
nice.
that's the message we're bringing to the world. And we've actually had buttons, hundreds of buttons printed up that we'll give you when we're done, that says, for a better world, default to nice.
I love that.
And
Yeah.
it's almost like, in computer language, we default to a search engine. And so we default to nice. They're especially good, these buttons, to give to people who are forgetting to be nice. And it's the reason I bring this
I need a lot of them.
up. Right, I carry 5 or 10 of them. And to have you guys here live, without masks, without fear, hoping that we've moved to a new place. I would like to really dedicate this performance. I'm sitting there on the couch watching you guys and just enjoying it. I'd like to really dedicate it to peace and to
Hear, hear.
a world where when we have conflict, when we have issues, when we have upsets, when we have drama, that we sing or we act or we paint or we dance. There's lots of things we can do
Oh yeah.
besides fight. So
Yeah.
that's my message for tonight.
I love that.
And love to have another song. I love that your songs tell a story. It's wonderful. Beautiful, beautiful harmonies as well.
Thank
So
you.
thank you for joining us here
Thanks for having
Thank you
us.
for having
at
us.
Yes,
Rick
thank you.
Concoff's Coffee House.
We love it.
Concoff.
Thanks for
Well,
having us.
it could grow into Rick Concoff's Coffee Yard or Coffee Hall. I don't know if you guys want to bring one more thing up. There's a wonderful venue now called the Lost Church.
No,
It's
I
in
don't know.
Santa Rosa.
Nice.
It's a converted church. It's a concert hall.
Wow.
And you book yourself.
Oh.
You do your own promotion. It has about 30 or 40 seats. You sign up on online and buy a ticket. And if you guys like, I'd love to help you do that. And it's
Thank
not
you so much.
it's
Yes,
not a
yes.
bar.
Yeah.
It's a place where we'll come and listen.
I
And
would
it's
love to go
gorgeous.
see who's playing there. That
Yeah,
sounds
Just,
great.
just Google on the Lost Church.
Nice.
This
The
guy,
the Lost Church.
the
of
Lost
Santa
Church in
Rosa.
Santa Rosa. He's very zealous, which I love. Zeal is one of my major words that I love. He's
That's
very
great.
zealous about it. It's lovely. It's not expensive.
I'm sure the acoustics are amazing.
Yeah, they
The whole
Churches
thing-
and bathrooms.
It's
Yes.
a brick building, and I don't know what it. I don't know. You'll just have to stop by.
We'll check it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So
All right.
that being said, in a very long way because it could be. Let's have another song or two.
Another tune. All right.
A traditional one here. Is it about sailors?
Another
More
sailor.
sailors.
Yes,
More
yes.
sailors.
We sing a lot of songs about sailors, mermaids, and the like. This one, he's not such a bad sailor
He's a bad
exactly,
sailor.
but he smells very bad.
Yes, yes. And usually when we are able to perform this on stage, we fight over him.
We fight over him.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
But
For good reason.
yes, for good reason.
Yes, yeah.
All right. The Saucy Sailor.
2, 3.
Come, ye young one, come, ye fair one, come now unto me. Would you fancy a poor sailor lad who's just come from sea? Oh, your ragged love and your dirty love and your clothes have gone too far. So be gone, you saucy sailor lad, be gone, you old and tar. Go hang yourself from the mainmast, so I'll never see you more. Take along with you your wishes to the bottom of the sea. You are fitter for the fishes than a woman's company.
It's a bit harsh, don't you think?
Smell it.
But for ragged love and dirty love, then me clothes have gone too far. Still much silver in me pocket gloves and gold in great store. And when she heard him say so, on her bended knee she fell. I will marry my dear Henry, for I love the sailor so well. Oh, I love the saucy sailor, that jolly roving tar. He will bring me gold and silver and jewels from afar. He's been to Italy, to Italy, to Germany and Spain. But I'm the one who loves him best when he comes back home again.
I'm the one. No, I saw him first. I'm closest.
Oh, you are for now, but I'll get
Hold on, hold on. I've been here the longest.
I'm the best.
I get first choice.
It's a nice mandolin, too.
Ah, do you think that I am foolish, love? Do you think that I am mad? For to wed with a poor country girl, no fortune to be had. I will cross the briny ocean, I will whistle, I will sing. And since you refuse the offer, now some other girl shall wear the ring. For I am the saucy sailor, that jolly roving tar. Jolly roving tar. I am frolicsome and easy, good-tempered and free. And I don't give a pin, me boys, what the world thinks of me. And I don't give a pin, me boys, what the world thinks of me.
Fabulous. Wow, entertaining.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is, I think we can almost call this a parlor concert. And it brings joy to people, I think, to hear harmony amongst the dissonance and to see things resolved in a peaceful, amicable way.
That's true. Oh, and
It helps us.
It does.
Okay, here
And Mark
comes
is going to double
our new
on.
performer,
Yeah.
Mr. Mark, with his cello that he plays in an interesting, odd way. But why not? I always used to tell. I hope I can be heard here. I think I will be. I was told. I was always told in teaching violin that it should be held this way. It should be held that way. And it should be held this way.
Mark
And-
does it all wrong.
Right? Well, here's the thing.
But I'm
If it hurts, do it different. That's
Yeah.
what I told my students. If it hurts, because God didn't invent the cello, but God invented you. So if you need to hold your hand like this or this or this, more power to you.
Well, I'd love to bring Amy in for a second. Amy Farrell is our one of our muses and storytellers, and she's off camera here, but she'll
She's
bend
gonna come
down.
sit in.
And tell us about Mad Tom. And we all know this song because of the Renaissance Fair, but what is this song we're going to sing?
Well, first published in 1620, which is quite early, and it was talking about the lunatics that were locked up into the Bethlehem Hospital. They called it Bedlam for short. And there was also a hospital for lunatic women that was called the Mary Magdalene Hospital, and they called the lunatic women Mad Maudlin, and the men who were locked up in Bethlehem were called Tom of Bedlam. And actually the song made them quite popular. So it actually became kind of a fad to become a Tom of Bedlam or a Mad Maudlin. In fact, beggars on the street would often pretend that they were Tom of Bedlam or Mad Maudlin.
Because the words in the original song come dame or maid,
Be not
Tom,
afraid.
be not afraid.
Be not afraid.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Tom will injure nothing. Tom is just looking for food, looking for a little kindness.
Yes.
And
And
so
song of
that's,
some social compassion.
Yeah,
you
it
know.
was. I think it was
Very
a
early.
teaching song to teach people not to be cruel to the homeless and the people living on the street.
Oh, wow.
yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We can all take a lesson from that, can't we?
Pussy met Tom of Bedlam. 10,000 miles I've traveled, and Maudlin goes on dirty toes. For to save her shoes from gravel, still I sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. Went down to Satan's kitchen for to get me food one morning, and there I saw souls piping hot, all on the spit a turning. Still I sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. The spirit's white as lightning would on me travels guide me. The stars would shake and the moon would quake whenever they espied me. Still I sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. The moon, she is my mistress. The woods, they are my marrow. The running stag and the flying drake make music to my sorrow. Still I sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. For to see Madame of Bedlam, 10,000 years I've traveled, and Maudlin goes on dirty toes. For to save her shoes from gravel, still I sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money.
Nice.
Did you know that song? Did you know that one before?
I didn't. It's so beautiful. So tell us a little bit. We'll come into the view here.
Yeah, why don't you take my chair?
Okay. If I don't trip over any wires, that'll be great. We'll have to remember that for the next time.
Absolutely.
I notice you guys have a CD. Are those CDs?
Yeah.
Awesome. If people wanted, I'll tell you what. If people are interested in getting them, they know how to get in touch with me,
Mhm.
and I will filter orders to you guys. It's beautiful music, especially some of those higher harmonies. When they, I view music as a continuum. So in other words, imagine that there's this continuum going at all times, and it's all the beautiful songs and all the beautiful poetry and all the beautiful comments and sayings that have been said, and it's a flow, correct? Because we go away, but anything we've said or anything we've done or created doesn't really go away in the arts realm. So when we write or when we compose or when we sing or perform, I feel like there's two levels. One I would call invention, which is nice. When you write a song, you're like, I want to write a song about this or write a song about that for hire, let's say. Or when you perform, when you're doing a gig and you're doing, a gig where half the songs are cover tunes and you'd really rather not be doing it. So in that we invent the energy. But there are times when we discover, we channel, and we tap into discovery, right? And so some of the songs that just last through the centuries were discovered, right? Because mathematically, there are infinite combinations of notes, right? And so when Beethoven wrote the Ninth, or when the Beatles wrote Here Comes the Sun, or when Joni Mitchell wrote The Circle Game, I feel like they reached into that continuum and they plucked out that batch of notes and it's discovery. So anyway, as I'm listening, what I experience is the loveliness of the music, but also the moments, like when you're in the groove, it's just like it's right there, and that's like it's like you're eating the meal, but then someone breathes. It's almost like a palate cleanser is like you're eating a meal and in between you have a little sorbet. When you reach those fine moments. So thank you for bringing that into my home.
Oh, you're so lovely.
And carry on. And feel free to talk about your albums or whatever. Very, very nice. And that's a mandolin, right? It's a large
mandolin, yes.
It's a large mandolin. Same strings as a violin.
This is a traditional mandolin.
Let's have your seat back,
All right.
because otherwise you're headless.
Headless. The headless mandolin player.
A traditional mandolin has 4 courses of strings, actually 8 strings, 4 pairs, and those pairs are tuned exactly as a violin. And so it's about halfway between a violin and a guitar. And this is the same idea. 4 courses of paired strings, string pairs that I pluck as one, but it's more of a medium tenor tune, like a drop D guitar. I like that more than the traditional. But there's a lot of actually evolution of these instruments, particularly in Irish music lately. There's a whole family of plucked mandolin family instruments that have evolved really in the last 30 years or so. And this is sort of like that. I have a bit of an Irish tuning, and I get to play music with these.
It's a time machine.
Yeah.
When you bring forward this music and these instruments and these sounds, they're not live. They're in the continuum, right?
Right.
And they're not live till you make them happen.
Right.
That's what I love about drama and plays and performance, and classical especially, that like that music, which was written 300 years ago, it's sitting in a box.
Right.
And we have to bring it out and make it happen and interpret it. And we have much better quality strings and instruments than we had 300 years ago.
That's right.
And I think if we were transported back there, we'd be listening to gut strings.
Yeah.
And they're good till they're not. They used catgut to make strings for all the instruments, and they're really nice until they decay. So think about that and imagine how someone who wrote these tunes or conceived of these tunes would come along and hear them in the quality of sound.
It would blow their mind.
It really
Really
would.
good.
They would reincarnate quicker.
Yeah.
So we have the whole band sitting here at this moment, and
Well, we're missing one.
We are missing.
we are missing one. We're missing the very important Forrest Robinson.
Hi, Forrest
Hi,
Robinson.
Forrest.
We're gonna
Forrest
say a
needs
shout out to
to-
Forrest.
Right, but he's busy being very professional.
Yes.
Yes. So that's Mark, and this is Megan
Yes.
on the 12-string guitar, and then we have Amy, who's she's a lyricist and for this song a drummer and historian, and hopefully you'll tell us about this song
This
because it's
next
got a
song,
neat
yes.
story. And then of course Vicky,
Yes.
who's our lead singer often.
For lack of a better word.
Yes.
And
then
Mr. Shauna plays our harp, and among other things. She
Yes,
sings and she plays penny whistle. And are you going to bring out the penny whistle later?
no, not
Not
those
today?
songs today.
Ah.
But
Okay.
so what's this song about?
This is the young drummer.
Yes. And it was
Right.
written by Mark.
From the Continuum.
Nice.
He
Yes.
pulled it down.
And for your information, Amy can be seen in some virtual paradigms with armor on,
Yes.
Yes.
and this is special.
She is
And
an amazing
there are
armor
some
historian.
gigs, some bar mitzvahs and weddings I've played where I could have used that armor.
Yes. And she's written many beautiful books, and so
Oh,
it's
So
just
wonderful.
Beautiful.
a bard, to be sure.
And here we are also at this moment, alive and well and
Hallelujah.
focused
Mhm.
and on our spot and in the moment,
Mhm.
and it's certainly precious.
Yes, yes, indeed.
So, I guess I'll start the first part of the story, maybe.
Okay.
There were two youths who made a pact because there was a war, and one person from the family would have to go to war, and that was usually the oldest son. But in this case, if the oldest son went to war, then there were those who would want to take the farm and the home from them, because that was a terrible problem back in the day. So they made a pact, and the younger one went to war. The older brother Stead took his clothes, took his name, and this is the adventure of what happened. Two, three, four.
The battle was lost, and the hunt had begun. For every straggler, for each mother's son, spared by the rain and the
Officers thought that the night would be still, but the wind howled the roof and the slate drummed with rain, and the sentries heard nothing before they were slain. We burst through the entry and into the hall. Their commander was ready with pistol and ball, but his full servant man brought a candle alight. Though we had little skill, we had knives in the night. When the shot was fired, the drummer beat began, putting fear in the marrow of every man. We fled through the back court and over a stile, where no horse could follow, nor troop for a while. For courage can dwell in the gentlest soul, strengthened by the kindness of heart. You find your comrades where you can, and give them leave to play their part. And traveling far, when they knew they were saved, they hailed their new captain, so small but so brave, and presenting as honor the steed they had found, they each took their leave and turned homeward bound. And the captain, returning to home and to town, dismounted the horse and let her come down. And stowing the drum and chinch in her bones, she took back the name of Felicity Rose. For courage can dwell in the gentlest soul, strengthened by the kindness of heart. You find your comrades where you can, and give them leave to play their part. You find your comrades where you can, and give them leave to play their part.
Oh, yes. And that gives me something to say in addition.
Something to say.
Right.
All right.
So Isaac Stern, very famous violinist, who's I think not on earth anymore, but lived in San Francisco, did this wonderful talk in Carnegie Hall. And he said that when he went to Carnegie, if you go to Carnegie Hall and you go in there alone, you stand in the middle of the room, you hear a cacophony of music. Because everyone that performs there, for some reason, what makes it so special is that the music implants itself in the wall. So I just want to take one moment to tell you what has implanted itself in this room. So first of all, this music will create part of the backdrop as if we had a little sign-in book or signature book where you write something. And a little note. So what lives in this room is love and joy and happiness and some sadness and some tears and some frustration. Children ranging from 2 to on, running about, running through the house, riding scooters around in circles, and also the two 7-year-olds, now 8 almost, playing chess together. So all this wonderful energy lives in this room, and that's in the walls too. So these kind of concerts are really a gift. And I think Isaac Stern probably was right. I think that if you go, you walk into a room and you can feel
Absolutely.
the energy.
Yeah.
And so if you have this idea that this cacophonous music is living in the walls, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
warming, and we spent so much time in the last few years, I think, lamenting, and we can now look for the little silver linings of survival and joy while we're doing it, right? My friend who calls himself a naturalist, friend Steve, says that, and this may sound a little somber, but it's not meant to be, that we all live in the same space of the pursuit of survival. Okay, and during that time, there's so many incredible experiences, and ultimately we all fail at it.
Yes, that's exactly
true.
true.
That's true.
And it is alarming and soothing at the same time. I told that to a group of 8th graders one time, and I realized I shouldn't have, because they heard it in a different way. But right, you know what? I mean, what he's saying has a lot of wisdom.
Absolutely.
In it, right? So bring us another tune or two.
So this is from one that Amy wrote the story to. This is Healer in the Wood.
Yes.
Yeah, I like to write, and I come up with themes, and I like history, so there's common themes that run through history. And one of the common themes that I love most, being a warrior who fights in armor,
Down Bohemian
concept of when that warrior is wounded, where does he, or in this case she, go to be healed, and what is it that heals the warrior? And often it's the magic of nature, it's the magic of the feminine, it's the nurturing motherliness of a woman, or in this case a magic healer, perhaps a witch who lives among the trees. So, and I was looking for a tune, you may recognize it. This is written to the tune of The Great Silky of Sulskerry. And with that, I'll get out of your way.
Nice introduction.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Gotta talk about music, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel thee touch me tenderly. I sweet memory.
Hope I'm an active audience.
Yeah.
It's really moving.
You're a
me.
wonderful
It's
audience.
moving me. I want to say something about music,
Okay, come on over.
but first let me step on my glasses. Oh,
Don't
it's
do
okay. I have
that.
20
Don't
pair
do
of
that.
them. Oh, good. They're the dime store ones. Remember dime stores?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna ask you guys something else. This is gonna date you all. I wrote a poem called "Whatever Happened to Play Clothes."
Play
Oh,
clothes.
yes, play
Right.
clothes.
Yeah, kids don't have play
Yeah,
clothes anymore.
no.
It wasn't about the play clothes. It was about the moment.
Yeah.
So there's not now the moment when the kids they put on their sort of nice school clothes,
Mhm.
and in my case, it hindered me because my mom dressed me, and Buster Browns and all. And then you come home and you have a snack, throw off the clothes, put on your play clothes,
But you could get dirty and get
and
holes
you
in
go
them.
outside. And you don't come in until it's dark or till you're hungry.
Play in the dirt.
There isn't that
Dirt.
moment.
Pitch.
That's
That's
if
true.
you ask children about play clothes, they live in play clothes.
That's true.
So it's just that there isn't a moment. But what I wanted to say is that music is a great pathway for them. And I tell my students that music is basically comprised of three necessary things: pitch, pulse, and tone.
Mm.
And if you don't have pitch, you don't have tone, or you don't have pulse, any one of those, it's not really musical. So that's what you guys bring together. So in terms of a life lesson, pitch is truth.
Mm.
It either is or isn't, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the
Oh,
truth.
I see.
Right. Right.
Pitch
Like
is
that.
truth. And pulse is rhythm, the
Right.
beat,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
right?
Heartbeat.
And tone is beauty.
Mm.
So you have beauty, you have truth, and you have the love that it brings together in the pulse, which is the rhythm. And you'll notice that anytime someone performs, there's a trick or a key to finding out if they're really performing, if they're really in it, and that is if their body's moving in some way.
Mm.
If you've ever watched a musician who doesn't move, it's rigid,
Mm-hmm.
right? Music
Oh,
music
interesting.
fosters movement, and so in violin pedagogy we call that pulsing.
Mm.
So whether you're tapping your foot or you're somewhere in your body, you are pulsing. Because
Right.
that's why I'm responding the way I am.
Right.
So so hopefully music can be that pathway for children to play.
I hope so. We have our play clothes on today. These
This
are
is
our
true.
clothes.
We
These are-
So do I. I didn't think I was going to be on screen in this way. I've got shorts and sandals, and I'm just, swinging it. But it
Love
was
it.
Father's Day.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Dressed up.
You can dress how you want. And
That's right.
my
In
daughter
your play
gave me this
clothes.
shirt.
I love that
really
shirt.
love this shirt.
I love
actually.
it.
Yeah.
shirt.
Beautiful.
All right. So you may have your seat back.
All right. So you want another one?
Absolutely.
Did we decide on an extra?
We did not.
We
Rick,
didn't
this is all the
decide.
numbers
Is that
we-
it?
This
We
is
didn't
all the numbers
decide.
we actually
No, we
prepared
have
for.
lots,
Okay,
but
then-
we have a
yes.
lot of them.
So many.
But-
We just didn't talk about.
Okay, so here's what I want to say.
Okay.
I don't need to be on screen to say this. Okay. As I was sitting here, I'm visualizing a concert at the Lost Church.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm going to help you guys
Okay.
Thank you.
make a pathway in there. The guy's great, and I saw a former student of mine performing there, and she was amazing. And
What's her name? What did she play?
okay, well, this is interesting. Her name is Emma.
Emma. Hi, Emma.
The new one of the new modalities is what's called a producer. So she has a guy partner who plays the keyboard, and does all the chords and helps her to arrange the songs and sound effects and sing some background, makes it sound awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And she sings,
Mm-hmm.
and it's I would call it new pop folk
Okay.
rap.
Nice.
It's a fusion. They're really, really good. If I could tell you how to spell it, you can look them up. It's something PRX. Everybody's got it. PRXYM. I don't know, but they've had one of their tunes they've written got 5 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rubbing streams.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Which
Good
doesn't
job.
mean much.
It means a
They
lot
don't
to me.
pay much.
I
It's not
can't
too much.
That's right.
I
No, it's
can't
not
count
much.
it
Okay.
high, so.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
So that was our concluding song.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us for Rick Concoff's Coffee House. And I would just love to know from each one of you in closing a little sentence or two or three about what it is that music has meant and done for you in your life. What is your as if music is one of your partners, is one of your soulmates.
It is.
It is,
Right?
it is.
I love that
Absolutely.
because your harmonies radiate that love and joy. So I'd love to hear a little bit about each of you. If you want to, say a bit of when you discovered that you were musical and had to do this. And
Okay. It's a little more than 2 sentences.
3 or 4 is good. Yeah, as I expanded the horizon of the comment, I expanded the amount of
Good.
sentences. So no restrictions.
Okay, who's first?
At least run on
Why don't
sentence.
you go first?
Oh,
I could have
okay.
said in one word, but
Ooh, okay. So for me, I've just been singing since I was a little kid. I used to force my friends to learn harmonies to Jingle Bells and stuff like that. So I've just been singing all my life. And then when I met these characters about 15 years ago or so, they asked me if I wanted to sing with them in a band, and I said yes. And I've been in other bands all my life, and I have to be singing music. I have to be playing music with somebody, and it has to be harmonies. It has to be good musicians. So I have a long record of being in a lot of bands with a lot of amazing musicians, and singing wonderful harmonies with these guys is like the best of the best. So it's just my favorite thing in the world to do. That's why I moved up here to Sonoma County 2.5 months ago to live with them. I'm coming. I moved in because they came up here 2 years ago, and so they've been asking me to come down for
Please,
a couple of come
let's
up.
all move to the Redwoods together.
Yeah, so I did. So here I am
we're
recreating
thinking
myself once again.
About what do they call it? Seceding from the Union.
Yes,
Sonoma County.
yes.
Oh, really?
About being
I
our own
believe it.
country.
I guess I've seceded
We
from
can-
LA County to Sonoma County now.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to
It
be there.
narrows down.
Yes, all for music, no other reason.
All for music.
Fabulous.
Megan.
Great. Oh wow. I started playing piano when I was 5. We had a rickety old 1800s piano that we were holding for the church down the road. They didn't have room for it, and it hardly played. I think there were 2 keys that played on it.
Wow.
But I would sit there and
Wow.
plank on it, and Mom, I want to learn how to play this. And she, being an amazing mother, and my father too, being amazing, found somebody to teach me piano when I was 5. So I'm classically trained pianist. That's where I started. But I sang all through childhood, like the Charmin jingles and all of the commercials that you saw on TV. I could sing them all, and music is just, I wouldn't be alive without it.
Mhm.
It's so much ingrained in me that I can't exist without it. So
Universal language.
It's like
Yeah.
breathing, like
Yeah,
your blood.
it's- yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't
love
be
it.
without it. And I'm new to this group, but I feel so incredibly fortunate. I can't tell you how many times I just
Likewise.
like break down with so much gratitude because I'm here. It's lovely.
And me, I guess I learned music first singing rounds as a child in Holland, where I was for some of my young years. And you learn a part, you learn harmonies, you learn timing. I think that's where it really started. I studied, or I was made to study cello, which was really great. You hear both you hear the bass line, you start to hear the meat of the music, you approach it a different way. Very, very, very nice. For me, the music does 2 things. It's very, very stimulating, but it also connects me in time to the people of the past when they have a concern or when they have a feeling. I might not know the concern, it might be a little bit different. It might be about highway robbery, which is, not quite the same thing for me, but I know the feeling. And I think, well, that person could be me, and I could be that person. There's a connection there. Sometimes I feel like I'm finishing some material of the day. It's like one of my co-authors is one of Shakespeare's co-authors. I'm exaggerating a little bit, not really, actually. It's really again, that could be neat. It's interesting. The other thing it is, and this is playing with all of you, when the strings connect with each other, there's something that goes on, and it takes on the music of the spheres, whatever.
Vibration.
There's a vibration there.
Absolutely.
Why does that exist? What is that?
It's magic.
It's a miracle. This whole world is such a miracle, and when I hear that, it's like, well, it's not a miracle that it merely exists. It's a miracle that it exists like that, and it jingles so, and I get to experience it with my friends. Miracles on miracles.
Love it.
That is miraculous. I was 10 years old and walking at the LA County Art Museum, and I happened upon my teacher, who was Sylvia Woods, and she is marvelous. And I saw her playing this little harp, and just the sound, I felt it go through me on this cellular level, and I was transfixed. And we didn't have any money, and my mom, she had a little car accident where she got a little bit of a payment, and she bought me my first 25 string little harp, and I just, this was everything to me. And to feel, even now, you know, when you're at home and you're just existing, when you turn on music, you just settle into a flow. And it's that flow that you can be in as a human, and connecting through time, as Amy does, just connecting through time and into the flow, as you were saying. So I'm very lucky.
Much so. And I think that also that music heals.
Mm-hmm.
And we need a lot of that. So thank you all very much for coming tonight.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
we will air this program very soon.
Awesome.
So Rick Concoff's Coffee House. There
Thank
it
you,
is.
Rick.
It
Rick
keeps
Concoff
coming up.
Coffee
Thank
House.
you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, here comes the outtake. We have some credits on here. Thanks to Olivia Jacobs for recording this. And don't go away, because we're going to have some fun. Oh, there's their Venmo. That was great. All right. Good evening. Welcome to. This was I'm trying not to block
No,
you.
you're good.
Welcome to Rick
Failed
Concoff's
introduction.
Coffee House, being revived by this amazing group that's going to play tonight. And I have to be lower. Is my head cut off? Okay, we're going to do it again. Okay, I need a chair, right?
You gotta be at the
Yeah.
level of his head, yeah.
I'll just get down on my knees.
Or just
There's a chair.
All right, you want to bring a chair over?
I think.
All right.
what, one of the kitchen chairs?
I wonder if there's
Not a very
stool or
smooth
A
beginning.
little stool.
We tried.
something. Yeah, I thought they mentioned this.
Anyway, I just thought it was funny.
You can just click out the beginning part.
You're okay. You're just flipping
Oh,
the
yeah.
light switch. That's all.
Sorry. I don't. I'm with you.
That's okay.
All right. So
Right here.
tell me how it looks here.
Your head is right, you got a logo right on your face.
Okay.
Logo
Here
on
I have an
face
idea.
problem.
I'm gonna stand right in front, or I'm
There
gonna
you go.
sit right in front.
Sure.
How about like if I'm here? Am I blocking anybody?
All I see is your shoulder and your knee.
Okay. So I need to move in.
You need to move in and back.
All right. I have another idea. Hang on.
You could sit on Mark's lap,
That's always
or
good.
get where I was gonna be
There
when
you
I
go.
grew
I
up.
don't want the chair.
Is the audio going to pick you
How
up?
about this?
I'm still seeing missing top of your head.
Okay.
You really gotta get down. Here you go.
That's how I ended up on the
No,
floor.
that's perfect right
Okay.
there. I mean, it's
Okay. All right.
got a
So
lot of your
we're all
head
gonna be
into it.
quiet.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the outtake, and I'm going to give you guys a song that I wrote about when I lived in Occidental on Bohemian Highway, just for fun. to end it tonight. And got it started at the beginning. So it was a house on the road that we thought would be better than it was. So enjoy this song. Walking down Bohemian Highway, nothing's really happening there. Driving down Bohemian Highway, something so nice in the air. People can spend so much time on the highway, forget all the things on your mind. Living on Bohemian Highway, cozy little place on the road. When a car goes by, the quiet seems to die. Everything looks good for a moment. Grazing in a house on the highway, noisy little place on the road. Everything seems fine until a car goes by. Then you really know where you are. Walking down Bohemian Highway, nothing's really happening there. Driving down Bohemian Highway, something so nice in the air. It's time to sell our little house on the highway, leave our cozy nightmare behind. Walking down Bohemian. Okay, so yeah, we got this house on the highway, and then we realized it wasn't such a peaceful place. But when you come from LA and you see a beautiful place on the highway, you think, wow, that is really sweet and wonderful. But you find out it's something different. Anyway, that was a fun song. I look forward to many more concerts. This is Rick Concoff's Coffee House. You can access this concert and all the other concerts that I've ever done, which were traditionally on Monday night, by going to my Facebook, Rick Concoff, or Rick Concoff's Coffee House Facebook, or I was in Rick Concoff's class Facebook group, or my YouTube channel, Rick Concoff. So join us. Go take a look at some of the shows, and we'll keep you posted. Join the Coffee House group on Facebook if you'd like to get notifications. And thank you very much to the Story Wrens. You see still on the screen if you'd like to donate to them. The Story Wrens Venmo at Shauna-Sellen. All right, I think that it's time to go. So everybody take care. Highway. Can't get that song out of there. All right. Thank you very much. See you soon.